If you're a Steelers fan and you wave that terrible towel and you don't watch this podcast regularly, you're missing the boat.
Welcome to the Steelers Realm Podcast. And now, here are the boys of Steelers Realm.
As always, thanks, Andy, for that great intro. Oh, man, Andy Hart from Cat Country here locally in Indiana County. But anyhow, hey, Steeler Nation, what's going on, man? Welcome back to another episode of Steelers Realm Podcast. I'm one of your hosts. And then over back in his home stand, in his home chair, is the famous TA joining me tonight. So the deadly duo on the books tonight to bring you the latest and greatest in Steelers news and chit-chat. And Freight Train out swinging the hardwood, I guess. Still, TAS.
Well, yeah, I think he's not swinging the hardwood unless he's doing it to a bunch of 6-year-olds, which in today's age isn't a good thing to do. JT, you know, you got to treat them with a little bit more love and respect than what we used to do when we were kids. But yeah, he's doing a little coaching.
Oh, he's coaching. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know he mentioned he's still at the ball field. So anyhow, Freight Train will miss you. I missed you guys. I was in that situation last week. So it is the off season and summertime and baseball season too for us dad coaches and whatnot. So, but anyhow, yeah, we'll be bouncing around. I think you're taking next week off too. So Freight Train will be joining us and you'll be away next week, right?
Yeah, I'm off to Tucson, Arizona, JT, to do some speed dating.
Some business speed dating. That's really interesting. I actually, we were talking offline there. I had actually got an invitation from Alignable, I believe it was, the business social media Alignable. And they threw the same kind of thing you were talking about too, but yeah, that's pretty cool stuff. The technology there and a little bit different way to meet prospective business clients and stuff too. Pretty cool stuff. Definitely.
Hey, anything to get in front of the guy who makes the decision, man.
That's it.
That's how we all eat. That's it. The money man.
Got to get with the money man. You know how that is. Sea level.
Absolutely. Sea level.
Call it sea level, right? From our old days. So cool, man. Hey, another week, and this has just probably been, the slowest week in this year's Steelers off season. Only 3 roster moves this week. So I don't know, but hey, we got some good news on some future schedule. We'll get into that. As well as, what we're able, and dude, this drives me crazy. The limited amount of information coming out of the media regarding the OTAs and our new rookies and what's going on there and how they're looking. Like you said, man, it is football in shorts, but man, just want to get our eyes on some black and gold Steeler players and see what's going on. And hopefully you can bring some insight into what's going on for us today. As far as this week.
You might hit upon that, JT. It might be a snooze fest tonight. I mean, but we're going to do our best to spice it up here just a hair.
Well, the worst case scenario, you get to hang out with myself and the famous TA. So, but anyhow, guys, welcome to Steelers Realm Podcast once again. You can find all our links to social media, our audio podcast, and our video podcast right on our website, steelersrealm.com. The latest video episode is always posted up there, plus all our other links too. So make sure to check that out. We're here every Thursday in the off season. So We'll bring it to you when we can. Once we start getting a little bit closer, maybe even preseason, we'll go at two a weeks, not 2 a days, 2 a weeks, and bring you pre and post game kind of stuff. But until then, we're working our way, through these camps and mini camps, and pretty soon training camp, and trying to weed out what players, we're gonna run with, who else we need to add, who else we need to cut, that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
JT, we still got to get 90 players.
We're not even there yet, are we?
I still think we're a player short. I'm not sure. There's too much coming and going and going and coming, and it's like, I don't know where we're at, JT. I just don't think we're at 90. We might be at 90. Are we at 90? Do you know
I
if
think
we're
we're
at 90?
close. We're close.
We're like at
anyhow.
89 3/4.
1 foot over the line. Sweet Jesus. Yeah. So we lost one, we cut one, picked up two more. Right. Let me see. Made some notes here.
That's right. We lost one and picked up two. So for all of you playing at home, keeping the scorecard, that brings us at 89 3/4. Well, what was funny about that is first of all, Freight Train and I talked last week. We've got like 20 wide receivers on this team, which I'm just having a hard time fathom. But could that be to all the buzz that we're hearing about Canada's new offense? I mean, even Rudolph come out and said, "Oh, this ain't Canada's offense. This is completely new. We're all learning something new this year." He's taken off the training wheels. Now, what that's going to equate to, JT, I have no idea, but maybe that's why they need all the wide receivers. I'm not sure, but you had wide receiver Cody Crest, who he had actually just signed like 2 weeks ago,
Right.
and then we get rid of him for a running back, and wait for it, because we don't have enough, evidently, another offensive lineman. And that offensive lineman just happened to come from none
Who else?
other than across the state, the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm like,
Steelers East.
I'm like, okay. I mean, now granted, this guy's a beast, man. He's 6'6", 308 pounds. Come out of my University of Miami. He did finish out the practice squad last year on the Lions. He played in Houston, but he was released by the Eagles last week. I mean, evidently the Eagles must be a plethora of offensive linemen because, I mean, according to the news media, we took two of their great big studs,
Yeah.
and we've picked up a couple of more from the practice squad. So it's like, what's the Eagles doing over there, man? Are they like sitting on all these offensive linemen?
It's a breeding ground over there.
It's a breeding ground of offensive linemen. So, I mean, even their scrubs could be halfway decent. We just don't know.
So, what do you think the purposes of that? Depth, or just training camp material for the time being? What do you think?
Well, it's definitely camp competition. There's no doubt about it. I think that we're definitely wanting to put, our best foot forward and put the best squad we can out there. The only thing that concerns me is we keep doing wide receiver, running back, and offensive lineman when it still seems like we have a glaring hole at inside linebacker. So maybe that's where that quarter of a player is going to come. We keep talking about this week in and week out. Are they going to bring us in a vet? Are they going to bring us in somebody else that we can look at? Hell, we were even talking about again last week. Could it potentially be Miles Jack? I mean, I don't know, but it just
Yeah, it's
seems like
being resurfaced again this week. Yeah, definitely.
right. But it just seems like with the moves that we're making, it's evidently inside linebacker must be thin out there. But there was good news coming out of camp. Tanner Muse, which basically we swapped with Seattle for Devin Bush, has made a couple of splash plays. He's made a name for little. He's raised a few eyebrows. We'll put it that way. And then of course
INT,
Mark Robin.
INT.
Yep. And Mark Robinson seems to be, you know, coming along pretty good for a second year. But I think the biggest thing is the is Wayne's World here. We've got, you know, Garth and what's the other Garth and what was the other guy's name? Garth and Michael Myers. What did he play? You remember?
uh, oh man, you got me.
I
It'll
got
come
you.
to me. Yeah,
I mean, but so you know when you look at that aspect of it
Wayne,
with Wayne, there you go. Wayne and
Wayne's World.
Garth, there you go. So I mean, you got a Landon Roberts and Cole Holcomb that evidently are creating a bond together, and they're so close that they eat, live, talk, sleep football. And I guess we're going to have to say that Cole Holcomb is definitely Garth. I mean, with the mullet Moloch or mohawk that he's sporting. So you know we got the Wayne's World inside linebacker duo. That's what I'm going to call it, JT.
Well, hey, that works. That works. So, I want to get into some receiver talk in a little bit, but now we picked up a running back as well too.
We did because evidently Darius Hagens was out there and he needed a home, and we're the wayward home for running backs and wide receivers this year. But this guy, he does come with you know, he's 6 foot or 6 foot, 210 pounds. He had over 1,000 yards last year rushing at, you know, Virginia State. Um, so I mean, it is this the replacement for Benny Snell? I don't know. I'm not quite sure if this is the punishing bruiser. And honestly, I'd still like somebody to release what happened with Master Teague. What is it that you brought him back 3 times and he did not make it, and yet here Darius Hagens is next man up? And just out of curiosity, I'm almost wondering, should we like start a tip board here over and under on how long these guys are going to make it? Are they even going to make it out of OTAs? Oh, well, they did make it out of OTAs. Today was the last day of OTAs. So
Today was
next week
it. Yeah.
starts,
Right.
yeah, so
Mini
next week starts mini camp. Right, right.
right.
So do we survive with our 89 and three quarters coming out of mini camp before we go on a little bit of a hiatus before spring training starts?
I don't know, but getting back to Hagens now, you know, if he is going to replace Benny Snell, then he's going to have to provide some splash on special teams, because that was basically football Benny's um, forte, other than you know, a little backup, a breather, giving the other running backs a breather.
Well, I like the way that you said that. Everybody that I'm hearing so far on our team is special teams. Last time I checked, correct me if I'm wrong, there's only 11 players that can play on special teams, right?
That's right. So you got
So
to be
does that
versatile,
mean
I guess.
well
Running back and special.
we definitely have the Swiss Army knife thing going. That we've established. But I
Yeah,
mean, do we have like a special teams backup to the special teams backup to the special teams backup?
no, maybe fourth depth special teams player.
Right. I mean, because you already figure the rookies who are going to make the team, they're all definitely going to be on special teams. Plus, we've brought back other players to make the special teams. So I think all in all, JT, I'm excited because you know why?
Why?
We're a special team.
We are a special team. And you know what? I'm just happy floating right under the radar, being way down there at the bottom with all the rankings that all the talking heads throw out there, like Pro Football Focus and Sports Illustrated, ESPN, all the others that you know, don't have much to say about the Steelers. Uh, Even in the incredible draft we had, They're like, well, we're okay. That's okay. I would much rather run under incognito, under the radar, and see what these boys are going to bring. I mean, I don't know about you. I'm excited to see some Steeler football. I'm excited to see and go down there and see some players hitting and running and throwing, tackling, blocking,
Well,
training
unfortunately,
camp.
JT, we're still about what 43, 42 days away from all of that happening.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So, yeah, so there's still some football in shorts left, buddy.
We're stuck watching small little video clips or black and white photos from the week's uh, examples, a couple little write ups. Did we need to pull some strings to get down there on the sideline so we could be the one writing those stories or talking
Oh,
stuff?
I'd love to be down there, even if I could be a fly on a jock strap. I mean,
That's
just
it.
to see what's going on.
Maybe we could
But
pose as Bill Hillgrove's like understudies or something.
oh, there you go, there you
We're
go. I
with
kind of
Bill.
like that
We're
idea.
gonna
We're with
wear
Bill.
Steelers Run. We're with Bill on the back or up here. We're with Bill. We'll
Look,
get down on the
I'll even
field.
go down there to be the water boy at this point in time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So
Well,
what
the
else
one
is going on in Steelers land here? And let's
well,
want to do a quick shout out here before we do that though, dude. Hey, just want to we've got some promotional consideration provided by a company called Camo by Reincubate. Um, and what that is it's a cool little app to improve your camera, whatever camera you have. And if you don't have like a webcam like this guy here, you can use this guy here for a much better webcam, wired or wireless too. So a pretty cool tool, and it gives you a lot of flexibility and adjustment in your whatever camera you're using, whether it be for Zoom meetings or podcasting or whatever the case is. Like video blogs or whatever. So, thanks Reincubate for giving us use of the full blown program. It's pretty cool. Make sure to check it out and try a free demo out at reincubate/camo.com. And I actually wrote that wrong. It's camo, not como. So anyhow, get that plug in and yeah, let's move along. What else is in the news, dude?
well, be honest, JT. You was just having flashbacks of Perry Como.
Wow, there's a name out of the past.
There you go. No,
So
actually,
Pittsburgh Yinzers would know who that dude is, huh?
well, you brought up something there a minute ago that I want to touch upon. That you said there's, it's a slow week. There's really not much out there in the news. Maybe a couple highlight reels or a few photos, this, that, and the other. But the one thing that I'm really seeing, that I'm getting this kind of warm, fuzzy feeling about, is there's no, there's no, there's no divas. Everybody's like kumbaya, like we're all one big happy family, we're all getting along. Everybody is full participation at OTAs. There's no holdouts. Even Highsmith right now, who's hoping for a contract extension, is grinding it out every single day right now. Unlike Minka and TJ and Cam in years gone past, not wanting to go ahead and practice because I'm afraid I'm not going to get that contract. Now,
Right.
granted, I get it. Highsmith isn't in the caliber of those guys yet, but it's just that kumbaya feeling that you got going on right now. Everybody's helping everybody.
Yeah,
Do
let's talk
you-
about the quarterbacks. All got together. They're all back, and they're singing the praise of supporting Kenny, right? For one,
Mhm.
that's what I'm hearing about. I was reading today about the receivers, how they've got such a group. And, we have a potential diva right there in Deontay, obviously. But, no word, no drama out of that group or anything else. You hear Cam talking about helping out some of the other guys, the rookies and whatnot. It sounds like a pretty tight group going into it, like you said.
Yeah, it's almost as if, we may have potentially learned from our mistakes. And, we want football smarts, football players, guys who want to show up and work every day instead of going after that superstar who has to make it all about himself, i.e., B&B.
Yeah. Well, there's plenty of those out there. And, the Steelers have kind of turned a blind eye to that, those type of players. We've obviously from Aaron Rodgers to Odell Beckham Jr. to everybody else that came and went, excuse me, through the pickup and off season of fantasy, which is Steelers Nation. So back to the way the Steelers used to conduct themselves. It seems like we had a little bit in time there where we weren't opposed to picking up a problematic player. Like it was a guy that ended up going back to New England. That was it.
Fournette.
Fournette. Yeah, a bunch of weed smokers and this and that, and of course AB and whatnot. But yeah, it seems like a real tight group, man. I'm looking forward to seeing how they progress and come together as a team. We got all these
Yeah.
names and hearing all these reports, and this guy looks good. And one thing too is I want to allude to, and maybe you can kind of explain or elaborate on this, is that a lot of players are coming back healthy.
Yeah, I mean, and even the ones that, had injuries last year were bringing them back slowly. And even Larry Obi-Wan Kenobi come out and said the main reason he came back with the Steelers was, man, they took care of me last year.
The way they treated him, yeah, right.
They treated me like royalty, and basically I owe them. That's why I came back. And the young guys are just flocking to him, and to have him and Cam on that defensive line with these young guys, it's nice to see us also get back to that Steelers way, because that was the one thing that I think that we saw when Hines left. And look, I truly believe in my heart, Hines did everything he could with that receiving core with AB and so forth to lead those guys, the Steeler way. You've seen Kiesel do it with Cam. Cam has
Mm.
picked up the torch, but it seems like there's been a drop off on that. But now all of a sudden, everybody's back to giving advice, giving help, even with Patrick Peterson, who we just picked up, and and Golden from Arizona, the outside linebacker, working
Right.
with Nick Herberg. I mean, everybody is working with these rookies, trying to have them raise their game. It's like, all right, we're done with mediocrity. We are the Pittsburgh Steelers. We are much better than this. We are a talented team. Guys, we need to pull together and work. I'm really digging the Kumbaya feel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. So apparently Calvin Austin is tearing it up too, as well. They're saying
Well,
he looks back to his last year pre-camp before he got injured, um, shape
yeah, and
and
let's
speed.
face it, we never really even got to see him.
Mm-mm.
I mean, because you figure last year training camp started, it was a couple weeks. Next thing you know, he's on the injured reserve. Okay, he's coming back. He's coming back. Season starts. Yeah, he's done. What? So, yeah, evidently he even, what was it, last week he turned the eye of Patrick Peterson. Evidently they forgot to let him know that he's got, blazing 4.0 in the saddle speed. Patrick Peterson's like, now wait a minute, man. At least you guys could have prepared me for this so I could you know, lined up properly for this guy. But he's like, man, that kid's got some wheels. So
You see what
the only
number he's
thing
wearing?
Patrick Peterson or
No,
Austin?
no, Austin.
Austin. Austin is wearing 19.
19.
19.
Was that Juju's number?
Juju. Yep. Juju.
There's a name from the past.
There you go.
Recent history.
Recent history. But I mean, the only thing that I would really like to know, and so going back to, you said camp was quiet and really not being much put out. The two things that we're gathering is whatever's going on in OTAs, they are preparing these guys for a different looking offense, and they're preparing them for a different looking defense. And offensive wise, we already know, we've talked about this to our hearts blue, is we've got some weapons. We've got some weapons. How Kenny's going to distribute that ball this year is going to be fun to watch if he can get it distributed, because theoretically there should be a wide open wide receiver every single play if he's able to go through his progressions, and if Canada's able to design up these plays to free these guys up. Then the second thing is the secondary. They are bouncing these DBs and safeties all around. And then there's even a talk where they're really contemplating the idea of changing the secondaries look week in and week out, so opposing offenses has no idea if Levi's going to line up on the left or on the right, or if Patrick's going to be in the slot, or if he's going to be on the left or on the right, or if we're going to move Minka up and move KZ back, or we're going to go ahead and throw in Trice, or we're going to go ahead and throw in Joey Porter Jr., or where does Trey Norwood fit in? I mean, it's like we've got all of these puzzle pieces right now, and we've just shaken them all up, and we have no
Mhm.
idea what kind of picture it's going to make. JT,
No, not yet. Which is frustrating as a fan that we see this, we see the potential, and yet we don't see anything yet other than and what they tell us too. So I'm chomping at the bit to get down there. They released training camp schedule, and that's all I can think about now is getting down there. Hopefully, we can, as a group, get back down to it, get in front of some folks again this year. We missed last year due to the rain. Our weekend in Latrobe got quite rained out, dude. We still had fun, but yeah, we're looking to be on the field with fans and Steelers this year, hopefully. Hopefully,
well, we'll probably got a good chance, because I don't know. This has been like, it feels like it's July already, because
I
I don't know
know.
about over there in PA, but over here in Ohio, I don't think I've seen a raindrop in almost 2 weeks now.
We had some sprinkles today for about 15 minutes. Other than that, dude, it looks like Texas. You're in Texas. The grass is all brown everywhere, especially
Now,
in the
now,
high spots. All the water is just,
now,
you
now,
can tell where the
now
low spots are in the lawn because that's the only place that's green. Everything's drying out faster than you can realize.
so I got to ask about those sprinkles, and I know you're a smart guy, JT. Are you sure it wasn't from the neighbor's sprinkler
And
and the wind
no,
just
no,
blew it over? You
no,
actually seen real physical dropping out of the sky?
unless the cows were pissing really hard across the street, across the road. Yeah, that's it. That's the closest neighbor. That's the closest neighbor. But yeah, no, it's been pretty dry. Now, the beginning of baseball season every weekend, dude. Every weekend. Rain, 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 cold every weekend until just these last couple weeks. So, but yeah, we need some rain now. We need some rain in PA here, Western PA. By the way, we posted a new speaking of PA, obviously we got our Facebook group, Steelers Nation local number 724. Just like the 412 area code representing Pittsburgh, so does 724, and it's quite a much bigger area. This week's focus each month, I would like to throw a different town out that represents the 724 area code, and this month it's Sharon, PA. So shout out to all those Sharon, PA natives representing 724 area code of Steeler Nation. I just want to give a shout out there. Stop by our Facebook group, sign up. We'd love to have you there. We have some great comments. Not a lot of bullshit, dude. Like some of these groups. You know, the trend has been they post a picture of what comes to your mind when you see this Steelers logo. Well, dude, what do you think comes to our mind? What comes to your mind when you see this? What comes to your mind? Come on, stop with that crap. We don't do that. 7-2. We would just talk Steelers, and everybody's very cool. Yeah. We'll get to that too. Little inside track. We have some good news to share with you guys, but we have to wait until let me tell you what the date is. It's July sometime before we can actually break some news. Here it is. Here, July 26th at noon. So we'll have some good news to share with everybody.
Now you got my curiosity, JT. July
Yeah,
26th. I mean,
so mark it down your calendars.
That almost sounds like we've got free trip to spring training or to training camp. Is that what we've got going on here?
Never know. You never know.
We're on the team bus.
It'll be a chance for us to beat our chest a little bit, TA. Let's just leave it at that.
Ooh, we get to beat our chest.
We get to beat our chest and brag a little bit. Yeah, we definitely made some progress.
AB, eat your heart out. We'll show
That's
you
right.
a big chest.
We'll show you a big chest. That's it. That's it too. So, hey, some other news. They found Kenny's car. The playbook. That was another curious a little twist to that, with the playbook being in the back seat. I believe they found that too, right? They recovered the Steelers playbook. Saw some funny social media memes about
the
that.
best one. Yeah, where's my car, dude? Or dude, where's my car?
Yeah, where's my car, Kenny?
Where's my car,
good.
Kenny?
And the other one was like a side by side with Belichick with a smile and the Steelers playbook in his hand. Have you seen that one? That was good.
No, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
But what I did find out funny is how they found the car. It's just parked in an old boy's driveway.
Like nothing.
Right. Like, yeah, look what I just picked up down here at the Automart store, man. I just got a new ride.
Looks keys are in it, man. I just took it. Keys are in it.
Right.
I just
a loaner.
So we found out who the guy was, right? His name's Christopher Carter. There's a couple of those at the Pittsburgh Sports talk, but apparently it's another Christopher Carter. And wasn't he to appear at court and didn't show? Was that today?
Well, I'm not quite sure. Was it today that he was supposed to show in court? I know they filed a warrant for his arrest. Is that probably why they filed the warrant for his arrest? Because he was a no-show?
Yeah. Skipped his court date.
Yeah.
Skipped his court date. So
if he'd have showed up, Kenny might have gave him season tickets.
You never know. Like, hey, dude, thanks for keeping me from getting in trouble and losing the playbook. Could you imagine what that would be like?
Well, I'm thinking Christopher Carter seen that playbook, and he probably thought, man, not only did I score, I got the 2023 Hyundai Genesis, but I got the Steelers playbook. He probably went home, put it on eBay, and everybody's like, oh, that's Canada's playbook? Yeah, that ain't worth 2 cents.
All 4 pages.
All 4 pages. And what the first page is the table of contents, and the last one was the index.
Yeah.
So that's what,
right.
2, right?
Oh man, that's good stuff.
I'm sorry, Matt, but we had to go ahead and throw that out there.
All right.
Well, hey, at least they found it. That's a good thing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Hey, by the way, got to give a shout out to Larry out there. Still working on finding his hat for him. Got lost in the shuffle. Our U.S. Postal Service. Still waiting to find out 2 months later what happened to Larry's hat.
I'd have to make an ongoing saga.
Ongoing saga.
Yeah.
But
where's Larry's hat?
Gonna win.
You know what? Did anybody check with Christopher to see if he's got it? It might have been in the front seat of the Hyundai.
Find Christopher Carter and you'll find your hat, Larry.
Yeah, it's in the front of the Hyundai, right there, but right there next to the playbook.
Oh my God, that's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Like if it
So,
comes out that Christopher Carter was a postal service guy after through all of this, then we know
uh,
for sure that's where Larry's hat's at.
yeah, well, that'd be too much. What are the odds?
Yeah, it's a good question. But hey, on other news, since we are talking training camp, did you see what was released, JT?
I did, and I didn't even really have a chance to look at it yet. So I thought we could bring it up and chit chat about it a little bit tonight. So, yeah, schedule was out. It really caught me by surprise because I didn't even really, I wasn't really anticipating that yet. And there it was. Boom. Saw a post on social media. There it was. Training camp schedule. So I'm going to bring it up here so we can take a look at it.
Well, the biggest thing, not to, steal any thunder or nothing, but I was kind of surprised is there are no nationally televised Steelers preseason games this year.
That's right.
Zero,
So,
zilch,
gosh,
nada.
yeah. So out of market, um, you guys are going to have to, find a way to get
Wait,
to Lake Trout.
that or wait for the replay on NFL Network
True.
at
True.
2 a.m.
So,
in the morning on a
so
Monday.
players report July 26. 56 years at St. Vincent. And boy, aren't we glad that they're back to St. Vincent again after that COVID hiatus. Yeah, the first public practice will actually be Thursday, 27th, 1:55 p.m. And man, once pad goes on, always things get pretty interesting there.
Well, you figure though, JT, the first four practices are helmets only. So let's not get too excited. We're still in football with shorts.
That's
We
true.
don't
Now, the first padded one, August 1st. So not till August will we get to hear that smack of the pads.
the
But boy,
first
won't that be
pop.
fun. First pop of the
Yeah,
pads.
first pop of the pads.
And then, of course, the highlight of the training camp has to be Friday Night Lights at Latrobe High School Football Stadium, where even the national media shows up. It's a great night. We got rained out last year. We had an open invitation with Bill Hillgrove to pop in the press box with him. We were even texting him from the truck outside in the rain. Yeah, that's going to be August 4th at Latrobe Memorial Stadium. The game starts at 7 p.m., but get there as soon as you can if you want to get a seat and get in there and maybe get some autographs and stuff like that. So, and then it wraps up August 17th, final practice open to the public. That is Thursday, August 17th, 10:30 a.m. So an early morning one. But as usual, open practices are free, so there's no admission. Good facilities down there, lots of things to do. Steelers Nation is there. The sideline stores are there in a trailer. A lot of fun. Now you do have to get, what is it here? Let me get. The attendees must have a mobile ticket. So they're free, but you got to get, like last year, you're free, but you got to go out and get tickets for Ticketmaster. And it looks like those go on sale or are available to book 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. Eastern Time, Tuesday, June 27th. So write that down. Or maybe even copy some of those important dates in the podcast episode notes as well too. So yeah, we'll post that link. It's Steelers.com. You can see that as well too. Make it easy. So but yeah, man, I'm excited. We'll try to make it down there. Get the boy Wonder down there. I owe him one from last year. Although we did have fun hanging around in the rain in the truck the whole time for Friday Night Lights. We actually made it halfway to the stadium when you guys called and said you were in the parking lot. So we went back to find you, and that's when all hell broke loose, and the gods opened up the clouds and laid it on us.
We saved you, JT. You'd have melted like sugar.
That would have been just a puddle in that ball field out there in the parking lot. So yeah, training camp just around the corner. Just around the corner. What is it? July 27th. We get June. So June 8th, 27th. Getting there. So next week, mini camp, right? Mini camp.
Mini camp next week. Yep. Maybe we'll get a little bit more information of what's going on and who's doing what. And now that everybody's been running around, hopefully we'll start to see just exactly what they're trying to unveil to us.
So when do they move from 90 players? That's not till they start getting through training camp and those kind of dates?
Oh, absolutely. Not until I think it's after the second preseason game is our first cut.
Okay. Yeah. So we had a lot of players to keep track of. Fortunately, when you go to training camp, they usually have a full roster list of numbers. A lot of a lot of duplicate numbers on that list too, until the dust all settles and the final rosters become set. But yeah, it's a great way to kind of keep track of it and pick players out. So if you were to get down there, who's the one or two players that you would kind of be interested in seeing how they perform?
I'd really like to see how the two kids right now that we just drafted, Corey Trice and Nick Herbert, just from what we've heard from them from OTAs, of course, neither kid has a chance to start, and nor do I expect them to start. But to see them come in as rookies and be able to maybe participate, around week 8, week 9, week 10, I think that is what I'm really looking forward to. And of course, all the guys that made the jump from last year to this year,
Mm-hmm.
is DeMarvin Leal going to, you know, show up? Trey Norwood, are we going to see his full potential? Another guy who we haven't heard nothing of going into his third season now, Isaiah Loudermilk. Is he even a bubble? Nobody's even mentioned Loudermilk's name at all this year during OTAs. So those are kind of the guys that I've kind of penciled in there as just the what ifs and the maybes, JT. And
Mm-hmm.
another cat who I'm very interested in, who I'm waiting to see when the dust settles, if he makes it to the practice squad or not, is Kendrick Green. Will he be our next bust?
I'm saying yes. I'm on that bandwagon. I don't think he's going to make it. Don't think he's going to make it. But I'm interested to see the other Kendrick.
The other Kendrick?
The
Well,
other Kendrick.
fill us in, JT.
Yeah, our first round pick. I'm interested to see what he's got to offer.
Our first round pick named Kendrick?
Yeah, Jones, right?
Is his first name Kendrick?
I don't know. Maybe it is. Why don't you tell me if I got it wrong, TA?
Well, I'm asking you. I figured, I'm like, wait a second. Kendrick Jones. Does that sound right? Kendrick Jones. That's a good question, JT. Maybe our listeners can let us know if they're even listening at this point in time. Do we have a Kendrick Jones to go along with Kendrick Green? Or are you referring to Broderick Jones?
I don't know. Am I?
I don't know. That's a good trivia. Maybe we got to put that out there on 724.
All right, Broderick Jones, smart ass. Way to
Hey,
waste
Broderick,
everybody's time.
Kendrick. Hey, it's the Rick.
Broderick.
It's the Ricks.
At least I know how to. At least I know how to pronounce them.
Yeah,
Pronounce
well,
Jones.
you definitely got the right pronunciation on. You got the right pronunciation on Kendrick.
Yeah, I did. I did.
Well,
So
hey,
yeah.
before we
Anyhow,
wrap
and
up,
Joey Porter, Joey Porter Jr. I want to see how he's able to, and I want to see this speed of Calvin Austin. I really do. And the
wanna
other
see if he's as
defensive,
fast
the
as
nose tackle we
advertised.
got from, the nose tackle we got from the Eagles. Really want to see. Now that's one for you to pronounce there. Or Samoan from the Eagles.
Now he's not a nose tackle. He's offensive lineman. Our Isaac Simamalolo, the
Yes,
guard.
yes, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes, he would be a guard, not a bodyguard, just a guard. Well, he is a bodyguard to Kenny, but just a
I
guard.
guess.
Yes.
And they're hoping he can be that left guard, right? Which, talking about Kendrick Green, that's probably when he was picked up. That probably sealed his deal, dude.
Well, that's why Kendrick's back snapping the ball again behind Mason Cole.
I guess.
I mean,
don't we have? We were talking about the what you call it, the knife, the
Swiss
multiplayer
Army knife.
Swiss Army knife.
The Swiss Army knife.
Who was being
That's
tagged
what we are.
that player? Who was being tagged
Everybody
that
on
player?
everybody on this team. I mean, pick a guy. I mean, you can pick Gunner. You could pick Deontay. You could pick Hakeem, Miles Boykin, Calvin Austin. How about Connor Haywood? I mean, we don't know yet if he's going to be a tight end or a fullback. I mean, he's
Well,
definitely a Swiss.
and and I was talking earlier about these receivers group. Well, he's lumping himself in with this receivers group. So but
he did come out this
again,
week
Swiss
and
Army
say,
knife,
right? I mean,
fullback, tight end, whatever.
He did come out and say this week, man, there's not a linebacker in the NFL that can cover him. I mean, that's a little ballsy. I mean,
I
Leonard
like
Hayward's,
I like
he's got a little swagger to him. I mean, but yeah. So it'll be interesting. It'll be more to come. We'll talk more about it. But I guess before we go ahead and wrap up tonight's show, JT, so we don't finish boring them, I know that you are just dying to talk about saving the best for last. I really want to know your opinion, JT, on PFF's latest and greatest poll that they put out, or maybe not poll, ranking that they put out for best edge defensive players. How do you feel about that, JT?
Well, I feel obviously slighted over that. PFF ranked the 25 best edge defenders from the 2022 NFL regular season. And who do you think came out number one? Myles Garrett. I'm just going to run down through it. Myles Garrett, number one. Micah Parsons, number two. Nick Bosa, number three. Max Crosby, number four. And did he make the top five? No. It was Jalen Phillips from the Dolphins. Did he make six? No. Josh Sweat from the Eagles. Did he make seven? No. Did he make eight? No. Nine? No. 10? No. Where is he? 11,
I'm
12,
waiting.
12, 13. Von Miller. 16, 17. There he is, number 18 on the list. Why? Because he missed 7 games in 22. Didn't get back into the groove that made him 2021's Defensive Player of the Year. But yet, still found a way, posting 5.5 sacks, 31 pressures, and an 83% defensive snap share through 10 games. Number 18. Do you think opposing offensive linemen are saying, "Oh, he's only number 18. Don't worry about that guy"? Please, dude. That was a snub in my opinion. What do you think, Steelers Nation? Was that a total snub?
Well, I'm almost wondering if the media at this point in time is starting to, you know, classify TJ as his brother and being injury prone. And I mean, everybody forgets last year was really the first year that he missed significant time. Yes, he had a bum knee there a few years back, and but his first few years in the league, he was solid. And I mean, the guy plays with abandoned recklessness. I mean, he gives us everything on every play. Even
He
Miles
does. I mean,
Garrett,
you got to give
which
him some time off.
right, and even Miles Garrett last year,
Sorry.
which is what I was surprised for him being number one, was even hurt last year. So I don't know. I don't put much into these polls anymore, especially when there's a
He had,
Steeler player involved. Everybody wants to dog us, JT.
yeah,
Everybody.
he did. Miles Garrett had 16 sacks, 16 games. And he had a league leading 25.6% pass rush win rate. So, all these cyber metrics going into how they rank these guys. For me, it's all about the eye test. When you line up against that guy, how much poop is going to be in your pants to have to face the guy, I guess. And TJ creates those brown pants. Guaranteed.
Yes, he does. He
Guaranteed.
definitely does. But that's
Now
okay.
the top 5, this top 5, pretty damn tough, man. Top 5 are pretty damn tough, but I would put him up in there. I would put him up in there on a healthy year. Now he's made some changes too, from what I understand. He's changed his training regiment. He's made some changes to what he's doing to enable himself to stay healthier and be in better shape for the duration this year. So he says. So we shall see. Cleaning pools is not one of them, though. That's not part of the training regiment. Couldn't resist that. So, yeah. So anyhow, yeah, that's my big pet peeve for the week. JT goes silver streak on PFF. So put that down. Screw you guys.
Well, JT, unless we want to talk about AB and Bell, it's a wrap, brother.
Well, let's just throw that out there real quick while we're there. Hey, we got 7 minutes to top off the hour long. So hopefully the last 2 listeners that are still out there are the ones that are finishing their final set in the gym and are hoping they don't run out of topic and have to change podcast. We'll give you a couple more minutes to wrap up your final set there in the gym or get your final workouts in. So yeah. So what's the scoop now? You see in the news, you take AB, I'll take Le'Veon. So Le'Veon Bell wants to come back as a Steeler. In the news and in social media, he expressed regret that made a mistake. Should have signed with the Steelers. Instead of moving to the Jets. Found out the Jets were a shit organization, at least according to him. And things didn't go well with him and the coach. So
no,
Coach probably didn't put up with diva bullshit. Plus, he lost himself. What was it? 12 million in tag money for that year. He sat out.
He did.
Now
But
he's boxing.
he's ready to come back though.
Maybe come back
He's
as a
ready to come
boxer.
back. No, he wants to come back and at least play a preseason game and retire as a Steeler.
And then hold out.
And yeah, you're right. He'll come
We'll
back as
sign
a
him for a
holdout.
preseason game and he'll hold out.
I mean, I don't know how I feel about this. It's a sad state of affairs when you look at Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell, how both of them were on target to be Hall of Fame players. And at the end of the day, you know, they're they're just they're grasping for headlines.
Yeah.
Grasping for headlines.
Yeah, they really are trying to continue to stay legitimate and in the news and whatnot. But I could tell you this: I think, on average, most Steeler fans out there are like their attitude is, Le'Veon Bell, you had your shot, you blew it. Don't bother. Have a nice life. Go hit the speed bag somewhere. Go fight whoever.
Well, and then Antonio, evidently, as an owner, he must have missed that part in the arena football owner class that you should not be removed from the team hotel because of noise complaints and suspicion of marijuana being smoked inside. That's not what you really want to hear from your CEO, is it, JT?
No, no, like, dude, how old is he's got to be? What, in his 30s now?
Well, yeah, he's probably what, 33 now, somewhere around in there.
It comes a time.
32, 33. I mean, and you're an owner. I mean, and
Yeah, if you're
then
gonna smoke weed, use some discretion, dude.
right,
Right?
not have a full blown party. I mean, maybe that's why Albany's not doing too good this year because they're all partying with the CEO.
Oh, speaking of weed, that was also revealed that Le'Veon used to get high before games. Did
Yeah,
you
I
read that?
mean, yeah, which quite honestly is probably the reason why he got hurt because he wasn't paying attention. And they're going to blame it on Burset. Well, if he'd have been paying attention and wouldn't have been stoned, he might not have got hit.
No, I mean, Le'Veon was the one smoking weed. Who knows? AB probably
Well,
was
yeah,
too.
but remember, Le'Veon got hit by Burset as well and tore his
Yeah.
knee. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't know. Maybe one day AB can clear all that up for us when he becomes Skip Bayless's new co-host on Undisputed.
Maybe so. Maybe so. But the league, lightened up on its marijuana drug usage policy for marijuana. So, but it's not actually what you would call a performance enhancing drug, though, dude. You know what I mean?
Oh no,
I
I
mean, unless you
agree.
put some Snickers bars in the other end zone. And okay, first one down there gets the Snickers bar, as a motivation factor. But other than that, I don't know.
Well, you know what though, JT, in today's age though, with what they're doing with marijuana, with the sativa, the hybrids, the indica, I mean, this isn't your grandpa and grandma's, Mexican brown dirt weed anymore. I mean,
Yeah.
they've gotten scientific with this stuff now.
Oh,
So,
absolutely. It's chemically
maybe it
altered.
need right, maybe it needs to be revisited on whether or not it's an enhancement.
Yeah, you never know. Never know. Yeah, there's certainly 1,000 different strains and compositions of it for sure. So who knows, dude? But yeah, interesting stuff in the news. Thought we'd bring it to you anyhow. Um, Freight Train, hope you had a good night out there, brother. We'll see you next week. TA, have a good week off with your speed dating. next week. Steeler Nation, careful in the hot tub out there. You guys take it easy, man. We'll catch you next time. We're out of here, brother.
Steelers Nation, keep these two straight while I'm away. Lord only knows what happens when the cat's away.
Isn't that the truth? Have a good one. We'll see you.
Check back next week into the Steelers realm.